Hi there, this is Mayor David Henderson, City of Brockville, and this is brocknews.ca City View. And it's actually August, but we're going to do the July and August sections together because we were on vacation earlier and we didn't get it. But let's give you the quick recap. Big events, busy summer, good tourism season, lots of people, lots of things happening. Ribfest brought in excess in. Riverfest brought in excess in. Still, they're having some issues with people attending and reinventing itself. So I know the committee is always working hard on it. They got a lot of good guys down there working it, reworking it, trying to figure out what to do to make it work. So we'll see what comes of it the next year or over the next year. Then we headed into the August section of the summer with Automotion, 25 years down on Blockhouse Island. Another huge success, great weather, lots of people, crowded everywhere, couldn't get a parking spot no matter what you could do, but it's a great success. And it's interesting. One of the things we have right now is we have a number of events in the summer that are so successful. We've got great crowds, and what happens is when you get big crowds, lots of people, you get a little frayed nerve sometimes, and you get problems that go with success, like parking and not enough places to park and traffic flow, that type of thing. So that's one of the good things to face. This last weekend, same issue, because on Saturday morning, we had 2,000 cyclists heading out of St. Lawrence College, going from Brockville all across eastern Ontario, coming back in on Friday. 2,000 cyclists. Now, unfortunately, it happened to be the same week where we tore up probably 20 different streets in the city of Brockville, Prescott, and other places right across the community, because the resurfacing that we do in the summer is very dependent on when the contractor and their equipment is available, and it happened to be right at the same time. So, interesting enough, a lot of these cyclists are going to have this impression of Brockville as the city of construction, which can either be a bad thing, or they can view it as, oh, we're rebuilding. So, for the rest of us, it's a good thing. It's a little frustrating while we deal with it, but the bottom line is our streets get much better, much smoother, much better condition. So Velo Quebec, so for those of you that don't realize what that is, Velo Quebec is Cycle Quebec. They have a grand tour every year, once a year. They also have about 5 sub-tours, but the grand tour is rotated around to different locations. And then they set up cycling paths over a week in that region, and they camp. They camp in the different spots, and they have food that brings around with them. And bottom line is, 2,000 people from Quebec cycling through eastern Ontario for the entire week. You could not buy better promotion and marketing of our region than that. Because when these guys are cycling through our region, they are stopping, viewing, looking around, seeing our streets, seeing our waterfronts, seeing our pathways, meeting people. It's a very much connected way to see our region. And what we know from studies and anecdotal evidence is that these people, when they connect with our region, will be back in our region. Right now, this group is almost a perfect target market for marketing for our region, for people to travel back through. They're in the 40 to 50 age range on average. They have wealth to spend. They have spending money. They're at a perfect age, perfect demographic. And we could not possibly, the perfect marketing, marketing's a tough thing. We can send out all kinds of brochures, we can send out advertising, send out messages, trying to connect with the right market segment. But to actually have them in our region, seeing our region, and we're not even paying for that, they're paying to do it, to come here, is phenomenal. If you see one of these guys out on the road, please say hello, say bonjour, say welcome, say merci for coming around. Make them feel good about this place. Be aware, too, is that the big bicycle tours, when they're traveling, especially in larger groups, they also have some differences in how they approach red lights and stop signs. They have what they call in cycling a rolling stop. And the reason for that is on cycling groups, it's very challenging sometimes to come to a complete stop and then start up again repeatedly over and over. And what they often do is as they're approaching a stop area, they'll sometimes have volunteers that go ahead and control traffic, but sometimes they'll do a rolling stop. If there's nobody there, they slow right down, check, move forward. And that's simply because that's the reality of bicycles. So that's a little hard getting used to. When you see it, it's hard getting used to for police in different areas that are not used to a lot of cycling traffic in large groups. So hopefully everybody's a little flexible, and hopefully it works out very well, and we'll see. But when you're more used to the cycling tours, you do see that a lot. So Velo Quebec in the area, we're going to get almost 10,000 plus different cyclists through Brockville this summer. Phenomenal the impact that has, from little stores, from little restaurants, cafes, for overnighters, for the campgrounds. It's a growing business. It's a solid business. It's very environmental. It's all around. We've got a lot to offer. So look forward to a lot more from that. I know we've got a number of committees looking at the tunnel, at our trails, at the cycling itself. So I expect this to be a growth area for Brockville in the future. So other than that, coming up in the summer, we had Ribfest, and Ribfest is a phenomenal success right now. I keep thinking it's at the peak of its success, but it gets better every year. They had more ribbers in this year. They had a larger turnout of people. They had longer days. They had bigger venues. And it's just exceptional. It caters to the entire range of people, from young kids, great kids zones and free activities, to the beer garden, and a very comfortable, very clean, very good seating under the trees. Nice place to sit down and relax. Lots of seating venues to eat outside. They've really done a lot of work to address how to make people comfortable and have a good time at it. Good music all the way around. And the project makes money for Big Brothers Big Sisters, which is just phenomenal that you can have a great festival that actually makes money for a charity at the same time. So that's great. And I did get a chance to be a judge in the judging contest, along with Police Chief John Gardner, Fire Chief Harry Jones, and Austin Lewis from the Observer. And I'm telling you, I thought I was a pretty good eater, but I just can't eat that many ribs. Holy cow. They're great, but a rack of ribs kills me. Yeah, maybe I'm slowing down in my old age. Pretty good, though. Good tasting. So that and a blooming onion. Blooming onions are pretty good, too. So all in all, one of the most action-packed 2-week or weekend segments in the city of Brockville. Lots of people downtown. We now head into the latter part of August, where things tend to slow down a little bit before we head back to school. I say that knowing that my son and daughter will probably see this. This is evil a laugh as I can get. Anyways, we'll head back into the fall, where the City Council will speed up a little bit in our processes. We'll get back onto the regular meeting schedules. We've got a couple of number of issues to address. We're going to try and revamp our budget process somewhat, get a little more on top of it. And we do have some current budget issues that we've been trying to address over the summer. We're running a potential deficit again, and that's a challenge. We want to address that, and further in we get, that will be more challenging to do. We did take a number of steps earlier in the summer, and based on feedback from the community, the City Council pulled back some of those steps as pertain to part-time and student staff, and we'll keep going forward trying to address it. Other projects that are in the works and developing, the MDC is, the building itself is moving up very quickly right now. The structure is almost as tall as the boardwalk. I know that the MDC fundraising committee guys are now going into high gear. They're displaying a lot of the exhibits to the public and talking to people about how to support the project. So it is happening, it will happen, and I understand, I can't reveal all the details, but I know there's going to be a big kickoff in 2013 and spring for the entire project. I think, don't quote me on the date, but it might even be next year, because the province has some funding modules for the 1812 anniversary, and I think it's going to connect very well with the MDC project and for the city of Brockville. Expecting some very, very big years in the next 2 years. So other projects, streets are getting fixed up, budget's being looked at, a couple other questions are going to be on the table for council, ongoing questions about costing for arbitration processes, and we have the waste management plan that has to be addressed and dealt with, and that's about it. So it's been a good summer. So hopefully everybody's had a good summer. I've had a good summer. Dale says he's had a good summer. And that's it. We're out of here. So have a good couple of weeks in August, and we'll see you in September. Bye-bye.